Hey guys, welcome into Edie's Attic. My name is Jenny and I am here with your weekly energy read. It's to give you a heads up on things to think about, perspectives, things that will help you open up and grow and to dig deep within yourself. These are energies of the collective that I'm picking up on at this time. And what I am starting off with to jumpstart the week are more or less channeled messages versus card pulls. And I also got something different today. I received what seemed to be kind of like a poem. So I'm going to read that to you as well. We might have some poets in here, or writers, or singers, or songwriters listening in. So the first thing that I was hearing from Spirit, it's kind of oddly worded too. It says, a picture paints 1,000 words that it wants you to see. And it was leading me to seeing like people walking through a art museum, walking through, and how long they can stand there and they like stare at the pictures in front of them. And you could be in a group of several people, and every single one of you will see the picture in a different way. You will have different perspectives, and you will speculate, what does this picture mean? What does this picture mean to you? What does this picture mean to me? And everyone's perspective is going to have a slightly different twist to it. It's also leading me to believe that sometimes what you see and what is out there for you to actually visually see is what they want you to see. That there's more depth to what is being shown in the picture in front of you. That you could try to speculate and figure someone out based off of appearances alone, or images alone, or what you're seeing visually. But unless you truly know them, and you know the full scope of the situation, whether it be individually, with another person, and their experiences, and why they do what they do, and why they feel the way they feel, and how they mask those things publicly, or even on a grander scale, when it comes to whole communities, cities, states, nations. What we see isn't always the full story. It's trying to open us up to being more understanding and more empathetic to the fact that every single person, every single group of collective individuals has more depth to them than what you see in a picture, in an image, and what is being broadcasted to you. Again, this could be from very small individual one-on-one situations to much larger, collectively larger situations. But Spirit just wants us to remember, sometimes what we're being shown is what they want us to see, and that we need to use discernment and go with our intuition and feel the energy of people, places, and situations before speculating and passing judgment. So the next thing that I was getting was ease into life, followed by breathe between each transition, great or small. So Spirit's just trying to remind you that from every single thing that we do, it could be great or it could be small. It could literally be moving from one household chore to the next, transitioning from getting ready at home to getting into your car to arriving to work. Through each transition, remind yourself to take a breath, take a beat, take a minute. Don't rush yourself. Don't let yourself feel panicked. It's a call to like really tune into your body and the way that you're feeling as you're moving through each transition. So if you stop yourself intentionally between each movement and each transition, now this isn't forever. I think after a while, it'll become more of a second nature where you're not going to feel forced. But at the beginning, really intentionally stopping yourself, take a minute and to tune into your body, to feel, where do I feel tension? Do I feel stress? Am I breathing really fast? Is my heart racing? Do I feel tired or sluggish? Do I feel irritated or crabby? Does my head hurt? You know, look at all the things about you from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Do like an overall evaluation of where you're at, because there's something about you pushing yourself through every transition and not allowing yourself a minute to even collect yourself and recalibrate yourself, that you're just moving so quickly and that you're pushing yourself so hard that you don't actually realize the effect that it's taking on your physical body, that you need to stop and like listen to your body, pay attention to it, pay attention to the signs, the red flags, and take a breath, taking a good breath, like doing like it's almost like a meditation, like doing breath work, because there's something about relieving the stress that you carry with you from one thing to the next, that if you can learn how to sense it and to bring yourself back to a place of like relaxation and getting rid of the tension. And for some reason, I'm picking up of a lot of tension in the shoulder area and the upper back. Like there's so much like right here, and a lot of like heart racing, like almost like anxiousness or anxiety. So that's just something to pay attention to. Also, this is the poem that I got. So I'm going to read to you the poem, and I'm going to leave it there for you individually to speculate and perceive it the way that you need to, rather than telling you what I feel you need to hear from it. I want you to listen to it, and I want you to take it in and understand it the way that you need to understand it. So here it is. I once was loved by many. Now I'm loved by few. I bore my heart to plenty. Those that seen me were the only ones that knew. I'm going to say it one more time. I once was loved by many. Now I'm loved by few. I bore my heart to plenty. Those that seen me were the only ones that knew. I'm also picking up something about gluten. And while I'm not a doctor, and this message isn't for everyone, it's for someone specific or a group of specific people. Some of you may be suffering some problems when it comes to your gluten, your intake of gluten, and how it affects your body. There's a call for many of you to start journaling certain foods and things that you intake, foods, drinks, vitamins, everything that you're kind of consuming and putting through your body. Keeping a journal, a log, and monitoring how your body responds to certain things that you're eating and drinking. Because some of you, I think, are having some problems with your bowel area, and you're having a lot of digestion issues, but you haven't been able to pinpoint what the problem is. By removing certain foods and then giving it like a week and seeing how you feel, and then reintroducing that food back into your system and seeing what happens, you might be able to pinpoint exactly, this is the food that is definitely giving me issues in my life, because I was feeling real good there for about a week, and then as soon as I reintroduced it into my system, the problems started happening again. But I'm feeling like this is a gluten thing for many of you that are having digestion problems at this time. So that's just a side note. And again, I'm not a doctor, so you may want to see a doctor or maybe have like some tests drawn on you to see if you have any gluten issues. But I think the safest bet is always just keeping like a food diary or journal and monitoring like your symptoms and how you're feeling each day with and without certain foods. So that's just another thing for you guys to kind of keep track of and be aware of this week. I've done it myself with a few things, and I've picked up on certain foods that are triggers for me and the things that, like were causing me problems. And, it really did help to pinpoint exactly. Oh my gosh. So this was a lot over here, but I am going to take these 3 cards here that came out. It really did help. So we have here burning bridges. You have imprisonment. Tapped into the infinite flow of the universe. And then we have expectation, waiting, hope. So yes, let's start with burning bridges. I feel like whoever this is that we've had the burn bridges with, I'm not getting like actual imprisonment off of this. I'm getting that whoever you severed ties with made you feel like you were trapped. Maybe you didn't, I don't know why, but I'm feeling like you didn't have a voice. You couldn't speak your truth. You weren't allowed to speak your opinions, your perspectives. They didn't give you a floor like to stand on, to speak. So you've just like had enough of whomever this is and not being able to ever speak your opinion about anything or express yourself and your feelings. I'm also getting, for some of you, this is work related. So you may have left a job recently because of that reason. Not being heard, not being given the respect that you thought you deserved just as an employee. They were not honoring your wishes. They were not treating you fairly. They were expecting more from you than they were willing to give back. But with that, with the separation and you kind of closing this chapter with whomever or whatever you closed the door to, you are now like aligning yourself in a newer path where it says tapped into the infinite flow of the universe. So right now, I'm getting like your possibilities and your paths are infinite. You're kind of stepping into this newness with a lot of options. You could go many different ways. But I'm also getting that by being so tapped in and having like these infinite paths open to you, Spirit wants you to really, really pay attention to your dreams, to what your subconscious is telling you, because you're going to be presented with several different pathways. And if this is regarding work, you may be presented with like several different options of like a new employment, places to work, or career paths to pick from. They really want you to pay attention to your subconscious and into your dreams, and to listen to your intuition when it comes to picking the proper place to work at. That would be for your highest good moving forward, like in which path to pick. Because every path is going to open you up to a different experience and different lessons to be learned. As you've seen from the past, that every time you explore a new path, a new opportunity, you walk away having gained some kind of level of experience, wisdom, knowledge from it. So same with this, stepping forward into the future. Now we're kind of like ahead of that curve. We understand how these things work. And now we can move forward and pick a path that aligns with what we are trying to receive from it. So they really want you to pay attention to what is it that you're focused on right now? What are your goals? What are you trying to gain moving forward? At this point in your life, what kind of experience do you desire the most? What kind of knowledge and wisdom are you trying to obtain the most? And which pathway is going to offer those things to you in the best way? So those are things for you to think about if you are in the midst of a career change. And even when it comes to personal relationships, what people around me are going to be people that are going to be opening me up and allowing me to grow and offering me experiences within this relationship that are going to create like the desired future that I see myself in. Because if there's groups of people that you're associated with that you just don't see your future self aligning with, then Spirit's saying that perhaps you need to kind of not cut people off completely, but pull yourself away for a little while and figure out what it is that you need from people in order to grow. But I really do feel that this is more career path related. Yeah, I don't think that this is for many people very personal. Now, if it is for you and you're listening and you're like, no, it's personal for me. It's like a personal relationship. But I feel bad because I don't want to just cut off friendships because they're not serving my highest good anymore. I feel like sometimes we have to just remember that, sometimes friendships, relationships, soul bonds and ties, things that people that we're connected to in our lives, sometimes are not meant to be connected to us for the longevity of our life. Sometimes we have to come to the understanding that a certain person may have only entered our life to teach us a lesson, and then, they quickly go as they came. But I feel like some of us have a hard time. We have attachment issues. So we have a really hard time letting go of people because of, feeling that regret or the remorse, or maybe there's more that we can do. Maybe we can get more out of this relationship than we are at right now. But sometimes we just have to look at certain situations and relationships at face value. You came in my life. I learned a lesson from you. I'm grateful for that experience. And now it's time to move on in my life and let you move on in your life, because we're splitting paths. You're going this way and I'm going this way. Because if we don't and we stay stuck, neither one of you are going down the paths that you need to grow and expand and to become more experienced in your life, which you're meant to do here. Or one of you decides to go down a path that you were never meant to go down in order to stay connected to an individual. So that's just something else for you to think about too. Then we have the last card out. We have number 83, expectation, waiting, hope. So I do feel that some of you are waiting for a call or an answer on something that you had put out into the universe. You set your intentions, whether it be, a prayer or wish, or actually more like physical, where you put out an application or sent in a resume and you're waiting for a call back from a company on a position that you're applying for. Spirit's just saying, be patient. Don't let yourself get into your own head and start planting seeds of doubt and negativity in regards to this, that if you want this job, if you want this position, and you've already put it out into the universe, manifest that it's going to come to you. Like, put out the intentions that you already received this job. And to always keep in mind that if it doesn't come through for you, then it wasn't meant to be. Sometimes we want things to happen so bad because we think that this is what I need. This is the job for me. This is the house for me. This is the career path for me. This is my person that I expect to be with. But in actuality, it's not. There's something better out there for you. There's something out there that you're aligned with much more better. There's a position out there that maybe you don't even realize that you're good at, that's going to come through to you when you aren't expecting it, when the time is right, when you are prepared to take it on, and that you should stop dwelling on things that are not coming through and start focusing on all of your qualities that make you unique and make you special and make you stand out. And to understanding yourself, it's really a call to understanding who you are. Do you know who you are? Do you know what makes you unique and special? Because we all are. We all have skills that sometimes we don't even realize that we have, like untapped skills. But right now, you're tapping into these. You're tapping into like the infinite flow of the universe. You're starting to discover parts of yourself that you never really even knew. And before you jump into something else, they're just saying, give yourself time to get to know you. Get to know the new you. Get to know the brand new higher self you. Because this has been you all along. You just never realized it. And it's time for you to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and get to know yourself a little better before jumping into the next thing. So patience is needed, self-awareness, understanding, and like I always say, give yourself grace, just like you would anyone else. So that is your message jumping into this week. I hope it helped, and I hope it resonated with some on some of the specific topics that I talked about. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.